Guys, have you ever wondered why some people hardly mind living along the railroad tracks? Or do they, because for whatever reason, they may not have any other option? Or there is more to it, the very reason they continue to stay, for better or for worse? So, let's dive a little deeper into this topic. The train, being another form of transportation, brings passengers from one place to another. Trains run on railroad tracks. A railroad track consists of two parallel steel rails set at a fixed distance apart. Railroad tracks are necessary for passengers and cargo that are moving from one place to another. Trains carry passengers that are expected to fill up all available seats. In some countries, like India and Bangladesh, the train carries more passengers than it could, and as such, it becomes more crowded and greatly overloaded. But that is not where we are going, guys. Word Eyes instead will enlighten you about the life on the railroad tracks in some parts of the world, like houses that sprout along the railway lines, businesses that operate along the tracks, or how people make the most out of the railroad tracks within their means. Word Eyes brings you any educational knowledge or information around the globe, current or many years ago, that has historical or significant value. It is your eyes to the world. It is common knowledge that living near or close to railroad tracks poses some health risks and endangers one's life. The loud noise of the passing train, as well as the pollution caused by the diesel engines that permeate the air, could endanger one's health. It is also not safe for children and adults alike, who may suddenly find themselves right on the incoming train or the train getting out of tracks. Accidents happen anytime, anywhere. Yet, despite this, people living by the railroad tracks seemingly accept all of this as part of their daily coexistence with the train tracks. As a matter of fact, many have tried to make the most of the situation instead of getting away from the railroad tracks. In the Philippines, people not only find themselves living along the railways, but in some cases, they live right underneath the tracks, like under the bridge where railroad tracks sit in. They build their dwellings underneath, in between big beams and trusses. As they stay there, they get accustomed to the noises and reverberation brought down by the passing train, as if the loud vibrating sound is nothing to them anymore.
Mismo ng Riles, nakatira si Jojo, ang kanyang may bahay na si Marisa, at ang
una, ang hirap talaga dahil dyan ang train, biglang magugurak. Kasi minsan pagka dumadating yung
To make the most of it, some Filipinos living along the tracks put out anything to bring in income, one of which is the construction of a wooden cart and or trolley that runs along the railways by pushing it manually as they run along the tracks. Pushcart has given them a source of income for themselves and or for their family. A television company came up with an idea of life on the railroad tracks that metamorphosed into a successful comedy sitcom called Home Along the Riles in the 1990s. The pushcart are still very much in use today. In Battambang, Cambodia, a wooden platform known as the bamboo train was built out of necessity in the early 1980s, powered by a motorcycle or a tractor engine to transport anything from people to goods using the abandoned railroad tracks.
Locals and some livestock, a ride is less than $1. There's no schedule. A nori just goes when it goes. All you have to do is hop on.
Due to its great use, the locals came up with an unwritten rule that when bamboo train operators meet on the railroad track, one gives way by lifting the entire cart off the track, allowing the other to pass and then putting it back on the track. The train cart that carries more loads stays on unless there's an incoming train, then both train carts move out of the track. Despite the deteriorating status of the railway tracks, locals in Battambang still make use of them for travel, work, and religious purposes. What is nice about this bamboo train is that it is very popular among tourists wanting to get a taste of Cambodia's railroad history. If and when the government fixes its railways, this bamboo train will no longer exist, as many fear it will happen. In Colombia, the people living along the railroad tracks went a step further in their ingenuity by creating a train cart powered by a motorcycle. The motorcycle's front wheel is affixed to the wooden cart, which has benches for people riding on it. The front wheel is not rolling. What is running is the back wheel that runs on the train tracks. But in Bangkok, it is totally different. The people there don't use the trucks to ferry people. Instead, they use a portion of the long stretch of railroad tracks to sell their wares or produce. Along the railroad tracks, they also place their stores or stalls, selling various items from food to anything. Whenever a train passes by, all these people do is just stay where they are, keeping a safer distance from the moving train, and then resume business as soon as the train is gone. This has generated a lot of curiosity among tourists and has become one of the big draws of tourism in Bangkok, known as the train market. So guys, life is not only on the train as one travel from one point to another. There is also life along the railroad tracks in some parts of the world. Meanwhile, that's all for now. See you next time guys for my next video news. Thank you. And that's for now for World Eyes. Stay tuned on my next vlog. And don't forget to subscribe, please. Thank you.